All right. Thought I'd share with you some fears, insecurities, or worries that I have. I don't know if I've shared this video before, but these are some of the things which I fear and worry. And trust me when I say this, it's no different from yours. Now, people assume because I'm this online personality or this guy with a few followers here and there, that I don't have any normal worries or normal day-to-day problems. Whether it's someone who has 1 million followers or $1 billion or whatever, we all have the same more or less worries. It might differ in scale. So I'll give you some of mine. Number one is, I would say, which is the most important one, which is just like you and me. Money. Okay? And not in question of, oh, do I have money in the bank? There is money. I've earned, I've saved. But I'm talking of the capacity to earn in the future. See, when you're an employee, you don't think about this. Yes, it is back of the head. Okay, if I lose my job, okay, job insecurity. But end of the day, you're getting the salary end of every month. And the shock only comes when you lose your job. The day you lose your job is where the nightmare begins. And then it goes on, depending on how prepared you were. 3 months, 6 months, can go up to months and months and years. And I know some people who have not had a job for more than 2 years. Not exaggerating. They get in touch with me, I know this. But for me, it is not, will I lose my job end of the month or end of 3 months? Or like, I also know people who have worked for companies like, see, there are companies like Sony, Japanese companies, where they were informed at the beginning of the year. Just imagine, they were informed in January that you'll be made redundant by December 31st. Just imagine that. Or or they announced, in some companies they announced, we'll be taking a series of redundancies, so we're just informing you it'll be in batches of 3 months or 4 months. So people were mentally prepared. But in my case, or in the case of a freelancer, we don't get any advance notice that, okay, you're going to lose after 3 months or 6 months. Every day when we get up, every day when I wake up, I have to get a customer every single day. And if I don't get the customer for today, day 2, it becomes double. So let's say my target is $100 per day. Second day will be $200. Third day will be $300. Fourth day will be $400. So every day I don't get a customer, it kind of snowballs into a bigger problem. And I'll tell you, as the days go by, you tend to get more worried. Have there been days where this has happened? Oh, you will be surprised to know how I must have had to go through it. Like I told you, when I initially came down to Thailand, the first 2 years, man, first 2 years, customers just trickling down. I mean, I remember I came here first 4 months. 4 months, I didn't get a single inquiry. 4 months. Not a single inquiry, not a single, nothing. There was no money coming in. 4 months. And then my first customer came for what? I think $150. Just imagine, 4 months and your first customer $150. After that, another 15 days, nothing. Then $50 again. Okay. So just imagine you're living on $50, $100. How do you survive? And I was staying on an island. I can't meet anyone. I can't talk to anyone. I can't go for a conference. I can't go anywhere. How do I survive? So that was the first bit. Now, the second part comes that, okay, fine, let's say today my YouTube channel is running. I have plenty of customers. I'm writing blogs. Okay. But what if one day, I don't have any more customers, or I'm no longer relevant. See, this happens with everyone. Let me give you names of few actors, or you think of some actors who were so popular, who had the heartthrob, but today nobody cares. See, Brad Pitt, Richard Gere, who else? We are talking of, Daniel Craig, James Bond. I do not know many female actresses, but Scarlett Johansson and, I think if you go olden days, Kim Basinger and, all these famous like Pamela Anderson, all these. There is a phase by which you achieve your popularity, after which the audience goes tired of you and nobody wants to see you. Nobody does. It happened with all the successful coaches see, Tony Robbins is the only coach who is still relevant. And now he's fast losing his popularity. That's why he's teaming up with all these scammers like not Dan Bilzerian, Dino Garciano or some shit like that. He is known for his scammy selling techniques. Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, another very scammy, salesy kind of approach. You have had these gurus like Tai Lopez, Sam Ovens, all these, you'll make 7-figure income, 6-figure income. Just follow my 67-step formula. What the fuck is 67? Work hard, have a team, take risks, generic advice. So now, there is a phase. In the 80s, it was these motivational coaches, these personal development coaches. Believe in yourself, you can do it. Then late 80s, 90s, it was, specific strategies. Then came the internet boom and they started selling online courses. Then came the Tai Lopez era where, I'll teach you the secrets to success and this and that and X number of steps, or you take this PDF, or you have this webinar. In the webinar, you're sold extras, and it's all total fucking bullshit, man. So every time there is a phase. Now comes what I'm doing. Will I phase out? Yes, of course, without a doubt. If I do not upgrade myself, if I do not learn new skills, if I do not target new audiences. See, how many times do people take my service? Once. And once they achieve their objectives, they move on. So I have to get new customers, new clients. Even people watching my YouTube channel or videos, they would want new variety. Nobody wants to see the same old shit. Even I get bored of the same old YouTube creators or YouTube people. I want to try new things. Like, remember, I give the example when I came here new Thai food. It was so exotic, it was so amazing, taste was great, and I want to try new dishes every day. 3 years now, I'm fed up. I don't even want to see Thai food. Just don't want. I'm really fed up. I miss my Indian food. So the second one is relevance. It's a very scary thing, I'll tell you this, and this will happen to everybody, all of us. At some point when you grow older, nobody wants you. When you're in your 20s, okay, fine. Then 30s, okay, you're still important. But when you reach 40s, no, that's I don't know what to say, it's a magic number. When you're in your 40s, all of a sudden nobody, you become old. They'll say, he's old, man, fuck, 40 years, what the hell. And then when you're 50, it's like grandpa. Even though you're still young, and I know a lot of 50-year-olds who are better than 20-year-olds. 60, they say, is retirement age. Do you know that there are so many 60-year-old people who are still incredible, who can still add tremendous value, but nobody wants to give them a job because they're 60. It's a sad state of affairs, but this is what it is, Then comes, with age comes health. Now the health issue is a major problem, I'll tell you that. Most of us don't think about health. We don't think about it, we're not bothered about it. We think that, I'm invincible, I'm Superman. Nothing is going to happen. So people think, they don't worry about their health. They just don't care. But I'll tell you this, ask anybody who has got a heart attack, who has got a stroke, who has got cancer, who has got some disease like multiple sclerosis or diabetes. When it just comes out of the blue, when they're diagnosed, fuck, it destroys them, man. I can tell you this, in almost all the cases, nobody thought or nobody planned uh, for diabetes, blood pressure, you know, cancer, whatever. Nobody planned it out, nobody thought about it, it just comes. And you know, when it comes now, it'll fuck you up badly, man. It'll destroy you, I'll tell you this. Health is fucking, and for me, a guy who used to not give a damn, who used to eat everything, and who was going to the gym and powerful and strong and big and huge, and after my sugar started acting funny, going down, and after I started putting on too much weight because I stopped exercise, I put on too much weight. I was literally huffing and puffing when walking up the stairs and all that. Well, I underwent the surgery, and you know, then my health complications didn't stop. Yes, some things did get better. I lost 40-50 kgs of fat that I was carrying. It spared my joints. I discovered that the internal bleeding that I was having, okay, that I had to control my diet. I was too ashamed or shy to tell anyone that I was pooping blood every day. Oof, the whole toilet, this thing was as if I poured red paint. It was that much blood, man. Whew, it was crazy. And it affected me so badly. You see me running now? I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk without huffing and puffing and turning white. It was that bad. And then following that, health. The next thing that you obviously worry about is these sudden accidents, like the biggest one, this pandemic. This sudden shift in, extreme shift in rules and regulations. Now see, this COVID-19 crisis has totally fucked up everyone. For me, lucky, okay, fine, it didn't impact me. But I'll tell you this, just think, a guy who's running a restaurant, a shop, souvenir shop, a restaurant, a massage parlor, a bar, a pub. These guys must have invested their entire life savings. They took a risk. They put all their savings into it. They put all their savings into it. And what did they get? Nothing. It is such a horrible thing, to go through a situation whereby you put your life savings into something. You take the biggest gamble of your life. It's working, things are improving. And one fine day, the hammer just hits. And then you not only have to shut down your business, you have to sell everything at a loss. And you have to end up paying your creditors through your savings. And now you're left with nothing. Just imagine if it happens to you when you're in 20s and 30s, you can fight back. But when it happens to you when you're 50 or 60, and nobody wants to give you a chance because you're too old, what the fuck do you do, man? 60 is an age of retirement. Nobody wants to give a job to a 60-year-old. Where do you go? What do you do? Who do you turn to? Okay, when you're young, you can be aggressive and all that. But when you're 60, you have to take crap from everyone. And then just imagine how it feels when you're 60 and you have to listen to someone who's in his 20s or 30s. You have to call him, yes sir, no sir, okay sir. It must be so terrible, yeah. So terrible that at the age of 50 or 60, when you're 60 or whatever, you're retired and you have to dance to the tunes of someone who is old enough to be your son. We never think about this. We never think about this. We never think about health. We never think about old age. We never think that, oh shit, one day, I have to dance to other people's tunes. One day I have to work for someone who's not qualified, but I have to take his shit because I don't have an option. How depressing it must be to get up every day and to face life like that. You get up, your whole body aches and your joints ache and your back aches and then, you have to do all your work. Terrible, right? See, this is the problem. This is the problem with life. We go through, there are so many things we cannot see far ahead. And I was the same. I was just like most of the youngsters. I was like, fuck this. When we have to worry, we'll worry that time. Savings for what? Okay, when I have to save, I'll save later. Oh, job and unemployment, I'll always get a job. Oh, nothing will happen to me. Oh, health, I'm fucking healthy. Relationships, oh, the person will always be there. One accident, one incident, one moment in life, and everything fucking changes. Everything. It can be an economic thing, or it can be bank crashing, it can be your revenue getting totally wiped out. Life is like that, man. It's crazy. And it's scary. I'll tell you, every day when I get up, open my eyes, I'm like, okay. And it's like starting up this computer and all the data files and everything is loading. And you begin to realize, okay, it's a struggle for another day. All the fears, insecurities, everything pops back up. And you start thinking. And you start thinking about what you have to do next. I'll tell you, it's people don't share, but everyone is afraid. Everyone is afraid. Everyone is scared. Everyone has their fears. Everyone has their insecurities. Everyone. But yeah, there are some people who are very successful, but they are very few. It can be like the Jeff Bezos or Jack Ma, or Elon Musk, or whatever. I'm pretty sure they have their own stresses also. But it's much better to be a billionaire with stress than to be someone homeless or poor or middle class, with the same problems. Because at least with money you can sort things out, So yeah, this is just some of the things which I worry about, which I'm concerned about. Trust me, I'm just like you. That is why, I tell those people who are busy commenting shit on my wall or on Facebook, wall, or on my YouTube, they don't have anything much to do. Because if you had things to do, if you had things to worry about, you would be focused on your career. See, when I work with my clients, they are thinking about 1 year, 2 year in advance. They're planning out now, working on their brand now. Because you can't just all of a sudden wake up and suddenly start making changes, man. It doesn't work that way. So anyway, I like to keep it real. And that is why I thought I'd share this with you. So, you guys let me know your thoughts. Do you have the same concerns or worries? And if yes, what do you do? Some people meditate. Some people go exercise. Some people network. Some people, there are different things we do. But at the end of the day, like I tell people, results matter. You can all these techniques, from meditation, reading books, praying to God. End of the day, results matter. And if you don't have results, you're finished. That's as far as it goes. Anyway, just thought I'd share this with you. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Always read them. Me signing off. Take care.